Hey there, internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Trove Gaming, my weekly Sunday show where I sit down and talk about gaming. Now, I was hoping I would have an Undertale review ready to go this week, but unfortunately between SummerSlam and then Game of Thrones and catching up on Defenders, which came out this week, I just haven't had a chance to kind of put all of my final thoughts together on the game. So instead I'm going to talk about just kind of everything I've been playing this week, and I'll try and do a formal Undertale review, like, hopefully next week, for that episode. So, kicking off this week, it was a big week for games. We had, a whole bunch of stuff, obviously, came out on Tuesday, and there was a lot of buzz around Sonic Mania, so I hopped in and tried Sonic Mania out. And I don't have, like, a deep love of Sonic. I played 1, 2, and 3 back on the original Genesis when they came out, and I've like I remember when I think they came to the PSN, I repurchased them and tried playing them on there again, probably 5 years ago now or something like that, and ultimately it just not for me. And Sonic Mania was no different. I would play through and it was fine. The problem with Sonic and the whole gotta go fast thing for me tends to be, I feel like I'm just, burning through a level and not seeing most of the level. I feel like I'm seeing 10% of a level when I'm going through it. And I also have this issue where, when I do get stopped and, don't make a jump or whatever, or I have to, slow down and start platforming, it is so slow and floaty by contrast that it's just agonizingly painful. And I was going through a couple levels and I was just I hate, this is not fun for me. This is, I made it through probably 5 of the levels, I think. I don't remember where I left off. And it's just not doing it for me. I would get through, I would die, on a boss a few times and lose the continues and stuff, and then I would just be well, that wasn't fun. I don't want to go back and play the 2 acts of that again. And so I would take off, and stop playing it for the night, and then I'd maybe try and come back the next night, and maybe I'd get through another level then. But, yeah, ultimately I just got to the point where I wasn't having fun with it, so I was you know what? I don't need to beat this game. Why should I waste my time with it if I'm not having fun with it? If it isn't for me, and it's not for me. And I don't get the appeal to it. It just doesn't resonate for me. Music didn't do anything for me. People were going crazy about Easter eggy things beforehand, and I thought there was one thing in there that I was oh, that's neat-ish. But for the most part, yeah, this game did nothing for me. And it's been a trend of that kind of experience this year, so I might write something up about it later of, how nostalgia just isn't working for me, I don't think, and some of it's, nostalgia that I didn't really have nostalgia for, but between Zelda and Crash Bandicoot and now Sonic, this year is 0 for 3 for me, whereas it's knocking it out of the park for other people. And I think, for me, I think people are giving things a pass because of their former love of it, that just isn't up my alley. So that was Sonic Mania. Then after Sonic Mania, I switched into Undertale for a little bit and had a really good time with it. But then I was feeling up for a change from that, so I played a little bit of Matterfall as well, which is the new Housemarque game that came out this week. And I was enjoying that. It's still, I talked about it in when I played it at E3. The controls are still weird for me, and even playing through it's each, so there's 3 main areas, and each area has 3 levels and a boss fight, so you've got 12 levels altogether in the game basically, and I was playing through it, and yeah, just the controls feel weird, jumping around feels off, but the thing that really has pissed me off with the game and why I'm not going back to it is I was playing on easy rookie mode because I'm not great at super great at twin stick shooters or anything. So I was playing it on easy mode, and playing through like the main game fine, but then I got to the final boss of the game, and the difficulty curve, just even on easy, just shot through the roof. Went from like here to like up here, like up on my ceiling, and I died 20 times trying to fight the final boss, and the best I ever got was to getting him down to like a third of his health, and that's just not fun for me. I'm not trying to beat the leaderboards or anything like that. I just wanted to, see the game through to the end maybe, and this game basically was like, nope, not gonna happen unless you get good. And I was like, well, fuck you then. It's not gonna happen, I guess. And I deleted it. I got so pissed off, I just deleted it off my hard drive, off my PlayStation. So, Matterfall's gone. Fuck that noise. Not worth my time, if that's kind of the approach that they're gonna take on it. And yeah, it just, it's more Housemarque. That's the other thing, is that it, if you like Housemarque, cool, but you're getting the same game over and over again, and it's annoying that it's not doing anything new or different, for me at least. That was, my frustration with it was just a boring addition, another kind of boring Housemarque game, in addition to being, obscenely difficult. So, yeah. Not for me. Sorry, Matterfall. Then lastly, before getting back to Undertale, I played a little bit of City Skylines on PlayStation, which is basically, when EA screwed up SimCity, City Skylines came out, and, as kind of hey, you don't need to be always online, and here are the things that you loved about old SimCities that we're going to put into our game to try and basically steal SimCity fans away. And it's one of those games that I'd kind of always wanted to play on PC and just never got around to it. So now it's on console, and I was like, alright, let me try booting that up. And I'm enjoying what I've seen so far. I haven't gotten too far, and it's, I appreciate that it's not super handholdy in its tutorial, but it did get to a point where I was like, oh, well, I clearly put way too much money into trying to build this thing and didn't build slowly enough. So it would have been nice to have maybe a little bit more guidance, because I didn't even get to 1,000 people in my town before having to take a loan out and going into debt. So I'll basically probably just demolish that town and build another Trevor Trove, and start over, start anew. But yeah, it's fun. It's a SimCity kind of game, city manager. So nice stuff there. So yeah, those are those three games, and then the big one, obviously, that I played and really have enjoyed was Undertale, and it's right up my alley in terms of its JRPG mechanics and style. The music is phenomenal in that, and I already knew that. I fell in love with the music for that game before I ever fell in love with that game or played that game. I played through it and got I got a neutral ending first, because I played through as a pacifist, because you can play this game basically letting people live, or just slaughtering people, or you can play a mixture of both. And I was playing through as a pacifist, trying to not kill anybody, and I made it through the game doing that, but I didn't do some of the other side things you need to get the true pacifist ending. So I went back and had to do that. So I've gotten 2 different endings of the game, and then I started a genocide run where you go through and kill everybody in the game, and I've reached a point where again, the difficulty spike has just been absurd, going against Undyne in my genocide run, and it's just okay, yep, going along, oh, nope, fuck you, and so I'm well, so I probably won't ever see the end of the genocide run, because I don't have the patience to go through and I think learn some of the patterns that I would have to learn to do that. So it sucks, because Undertale is leaving a bad taste in my mouth, but if I'd played it in a different order, well, I might never have gotten to the other ways, but yeah, I just I liked what I was doing before I did the genocide run, and I liked the beginning of the genocide run, but then it just became absurdly difficult for no reason, and I said, well, screw this then, not interested. So that's my week in gaming so far, or this last week. As I said, I'll probably try and do a full formal Undertale review for next week's show, if I don't do just a special any other day this week when I have time to get to it and get it up, I might just do that as well. So that's what I've been playing this week. My impressions on some of those games that everybody else has been kind of talking about this week: Sonic Mania, Undertale, Matterfall, and City Skylines. Let me know what you've been up to this week in gaming in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.